Hi, welcome to the third Fireside chat of Lent 2026. We're up to that phrase in Psalm 23 where it goes, "Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." This marks a really big change in the psalm. Up till this point, David the psalmist has been talking about God. He's been declaring to the people around him what a great God is, how God leads him, how God restores him. But in this section, all of a sudden, David changes. The whole tone of the psalm changes. Now David is talking to God. You are with me, he says. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. This level of intimacy or depth of connection, this is modeled by David, but it's really easy to neglect. I don't know how it goes for you, but I find it much easier in my daily devotions to do like my Bible reading than to spend time in prayer. And if I was going to put them in ratio, I don't spend the same amount of time. Bible reading comes easier, it's more fun. I can do it. Yeah, I can spend time reading my Bible. But spending time in prayer, that's a challenge for me. It's easy to skip that connection. But we miss out when we do that because it's the close connection that we have with God that allows us to experience what David does. When David was going through his dark valley, he said, I fear no evil because I know you are with me. Here are two ways that I find helpful for deepening that connection or building that intimacy with God. First is I really have to work on spending time talking to God, spending time in prayer. And that means going beyond asking God to bless my food and going through the lists of people and needs and desires and wants and hopes. All that's important, and God wants to hear it all. But to really move to that level that David's demonstrating here, of just dwelling with God, of saying, you are with me, and walking with the confidence that comes from knowing that. So that's the first one, spend time talking to God like David does in Psalm 23. But then the second thing for me is recalling God's activity, the activity of God in my own life. So all through the Bible, you will read directives from God saying, remember this, remember that, remember the Lord your God. And if you've read the Bible, you know that there are sections of the Psalms and other parts of the Bible that are just really kind of recitations of history, but they're far from dry and dull. It's recalling to God in prayer all the great things God has done. Remembering God's activity in past times reminds us that Jesus, our Good Shepherd, has helped us in the past and enables us to take that presence, that awareness, into our dark valleys and face them with less fear because we are aware, we know that God is present. Now, it can seem a little egotistical to compare my life to the great Bible stories, the plagues, the Exodus, the conquering of the promised land, the battles that were fought. But in some ways, those are our stories because we are the people of faith. We continue, those are our ancestors. But then to spend some time and focus on our own lives and to think about how God was with you. Maybe it wasn't luck. Maybe it was God. Maybe it wasn't a coincidence. Maybe it was God stepping in. And to think about those things and dwell on those things. Because as we remember God's presence, we remember that the same God who was with us and with God's people back in Bible times, that same God is with us now. And his presence will help us face today's challenges with, well, less fear. Or, in the words of David from Psalm 23, I will fear no evil because you are with me. Have a great night. Remember, folks, we are reading Max Lucado's Traveling Light. If you want a copy, contact the church office. We'd be happy to get one to you. I'll see you on Sunday.